Is that a
You don't need
phone or a tablet?
I'm playing Pokemon
He's got
while we're waiting.
He's got a seperate Kindle Fire.
I need to
Three.
brag about a Pidgey.
It wasn't a brag. I mean,
You can walk outside and pick a bunch of Pidgeys if you want to.
Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. This is level 293, and this is our live show. I am Big L, and with me, as always, above me, Brady Bunch style, is KooshMoose.
Pinky's out. What's up?
Diagonal style.
Diagonal style. Yeah.
Maybe this way.
Just a white box to your left.
Is Mr. Wildwest.
What's going on, guys?
And guest hosting with us this week in the deepest, darkest basement that he could find is Proulx.
actually on the highest level of my house, but that's not important. I appreciate you bringing me on for 293, which is my favorite number. It's not. It's not really. It means nothing. But thank you. Thanks for having me.
Wait, what do you mean? It's a 24 factorial.
Not a math podcast, once again.
Sure, yeah.
No, not a math podcast. See, I knew he was going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
The only
Dead
math you have
horse
to do is
podcast.
just count +1 to every episode.
No, we don't make fun of numbers on this show. All right. I wanted to give a quick thank you to Skeptical Mario for last week. And he talked about Space Gladiators, and he talked about how he was trying to complete it. And I believe he did complete it. So congrats to him. He became the 4th person on TA to complete Space Gladiators. So that's way cooler than Brotato, I'm pretty sure. And also at the beginning of last week's episode, we talked about he was going to help me with a boost.
Oh, up.
Well, I don't know if you remember that or not, but he was supposed to help me. What he was actually trying to do is hook me up with the save for the hard difficulty on Marvel Ultimate Alliance for the Xbox 360. And we tried, and I don't know if it was corrupted or something, but he couldn't get it to work.
Hmm.
So thanks, Mario, for trying, but didn't work. However, a lad from the UK came through for me, Eruteric. So thank you very much for that save. He passed it on. So anybody who doesn't know, you could just pass on the save for Xbox 360 Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and it saves you many, many hours because you don't have to go through the game on normal to unlock hard. You could just go right to the last boss of hard and get that achievement. And then on your second playthrough, you don't have to play on normal. You could just play on easy, which we immediately started over, and we're having a much easier time on easy as compared to normal. So I will be the Marvel Whisperer. If anyone needs me to pass that save on to them, I will. I just passed it on to Mad Eye Pad Eye before we started, so we could have the UK contingent and the American contingent. Super Bob in chat is looking for that save. I'm more than happy to help you. If you can learn how to turn on your Xbox 360, I will help you.
You mean if you can
That's usually the biggest challenge from week
drag
to
'em
week,
away
is getting the
from
360 to work.
I mean, if you can drag them away
Drag-
from shutting companies down? Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
He does tend to do that. I think he's shutting down Marvel as we speak, so it might be hard. Oh wait, that didn't come out right. But Anybody who needs that, I'm willing to help. And if anyone knows of anyone with the Xbox One version, it would be appreciated.
Can you share the save on the Xbox One similarly?
Yep. All you do is load into the game together, and then you go to the save point and save it, and then the other person winds up with a save on their
Gotcha,
tab,
on their
so
local,
they can. Yeah, it's very convenient. Saves
Now, if
many,
you
many hours.
didn't do that, let's just say hypothetically you didn't do that. Does the
You would have to
game?
play through on normal, and then your levels carry over to like a new game plus kind of, and then you would retain those levels on the hard playthrough with
So you
those
could just
levels.
grind up to make hard easier, but it just saves you a lot of the grinding.
Yes, and not only do we have the hard save, but the levels are very high as well. So Eriteric did a good job.
Nice.
So
did he do a good job, or did the guy who gave it to him do a good job?
I imagine, I think he did it himself.
Okay.
Because he doesn't like himself. So he went through. I'm pretty sure he played by himself. He did a never-ending story on it, and he complained about random things, I remember, certain achievements and such. So, yeah.
I will say it is much appreciated because we played Marvel Ultimate Alliance for the first time a few weeks ago, and we played the first level, and by the end of the first levels, 2 of the 4 of us were dead. And this was only on normal, so it was probably not going to be, it was not going to go smoothly, is what I imagined. So this is definitely most appreciated.
Should we take bets on who the 2 were?
Listen, I'm just saying 2 of the people were dead and the 2 of us weren't. So I'm just, if you know the group, I think you can
I was looking up collectible guide. Okay, come on, guys. Yeah, I think what we didn't realize or had forgotten is that you don't, most games you would sit out for 30 seconds and then respawn. No, it's 5 minutes, and then you have to get to a save point and then sit there, and then you could revive the person. It's not the best system in the world.
Yeah, and it's I know L has a reputation of not being able to find his way, but I seem to remember stopping on that game on the first or second level because I just couldn't remember how to get through a flame wall, or I just couldn't figure it out, and I just stopped playing the game right then. I'm sure there's a button like 2 feet away from where I was or something, but I do remember that being frustrating, and I don't think there were resources back in the 80s when I played it. Or whatever that
it wasn't out then, but there was still no resources.
What is time but a construct?
Fact. Well, Proulx said he'll help you at any point, so don't
definitely worry. Yes, I will. I do have the save now, so I can help anyone as well.
You can do the save, and you can make multiple saves. It was probably something where you pull or push a block or something like that.
Yeah,
there's minor puzzling going on as well. And it's very funny when you play a character that it just has all these powers, and then they're like, "You're Magneto. You should be able to just hold your hand up and do this." But no, you got to sit there and push this thing.
No, everything's made out of wood.
Well, if you were playing as Human Torch and you couldn't get through the flame wall, then that's exactly. On you. That is entirely on you.
Exactly. Okay, on to this week. Topic of discussion. We have a question brought to us by the mind of the great KooshMoose. I'm going to let him ask the question.
Sure. KooshMoose asks, have you ever bought and sat on a game only to see it come to Game Pass before you even started it? Does a purchased game coming to Game Pass change your enjoyment or the value of it? Let us know so we can thank you for your service. And I was hoping that people would list off the games that they brought to Game Pass just by buying. But no one really seemed to do that. So, okay. March Madness Barry, he says, quite a few times he's done this. It doesn't change my enjoyment, just a little disappointment. I paid money for it when I didn't need to. The biggest change is I don't buy as many games knowing so much comes to Game Pass. Ahizo answers very tersely, no, and probably not. And Northern Lass says,
thank you, Ahizo.
As someone who buys a lot of games and holds on to them until bean dive time, I've been in that situation often. However, I tend to only buy games when they're discounted or if I want to support the dev, so I don't really mind if they turn up on Game Pass. More than likely, when I do start the game, there will be lots more guides, walkthroughs to help me play through the game because it is on Game Pass. I agree. And I have done this all the time. Absolutely happens.
Shock face.
Yeah. Well, also Game Pass didn't have everything, at one time, and it's slowly added things. So of course things are going to start showing up. Here are the big ones, or the ones that are more recent or alphabetically recent. Control. I bought that before it came to Game Pass, and then never played it. Anu Card. That's relatively new. I think last month. Pretty much every Assassin's Creed. That happened. Dead Cells, and most recently, Diablo 4. You are welcome, everyone. So yeah, that's what I've done to get Game Pass to bring these games to you.
I mean, I could probably name more games that you have bought than I have bought. But
Probably.
knowing you, you're probably not so mad about it. You're probably fine, like, quote unquote, owning those games that you bought.
I have been upset once or twice, but not. Yeah, I mean, it happens so often that you just can't live your life like that.
Yeah, for example, I don't know if EA Play counts for you, but like obviously you got the Star Wars, knowing full well they were going to be on EA Play, but you didn't care, so you got them.
I mean, yeah, specifically for that Star Wars game, I had to play it right away. I mean, I just had to. So I wasn't going to wait a year or however long before it came to EA, Play,
right,
or Game Pass. So yeah. So, some things like that, I just have to. Like, I imagine Hogwarts at some point will also be on Game Pass. It's a great game, and I wanted to play it day one, or actually day -7 or something. So good.
Yeah, but I mean, if you play like you played Jedi Survivor right away, so you spent whatever $60-$80 or less if you got a discount. Waiting a year, or a little over a year, like it's your price versus playing it kind of thing. You want to play it right away. You got enjoyment out of it. It sounds like it was one of your Game of the Year contenders. It was worth it to you to play it right away.
Game of the Year contenders, yes.
Yeah, one of the ones I joke about all the time. But yeah, like you got enjoyment out of it. It's different if you buy it and then sit on it, and then it's 2 or 3 years later.
That is true. Yeah. So Control is a perfect example.
Yeah, when you don't play it. Yeah.
Which time? This time or the last time it was on Game Pass?
or which Control? Because I bought.
Or I guess it's true.
Yeah.
Well, the remedy for that is just not buy any of those anymore. It's true. All right, I'm going to go next and read from our good friend Chewy on Ice. It's definitely happened a bit, but not too much to be annoying. I tend to buy stuff on deep discount anyway, so I don't usually feel like I've lost out on too much. I also don't seem to find it as much of an issue these days as it was back when games with gold was a thing. RIP. I have memories of getting things like Dead Island, Hitman Absolution, Dishonored, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Tomb Raider, and Bioshock Infinite for free shortly after buying them. Even then, though, I got them cheap, so it wasn't like I was losing out on full price stuff. Yes, that definitely happens with games with gold as well. Carpe Adam says it's happened several times. I've also seen games I was excited about come and go from Game Pass before getting to them. Doesn't affect my enjoyment of the game, just mildly disappointing that I paid more than I had to. But I already own more games than I'll likely ever have the time to play anyway. At the end of the day, having games I'm interested on Game Pass is a good thing, whether I already own them or not. Hopefully that extra revenue for being on Game Pass helps fund sequels for some of the games. Skeptical Mario says, yes, in particular Indivisible and Indivisible Windows, in parentheses, which was last week. I just tell myself that I'm supporting the developer. Well, actually, yes, you are.
You mean the one that's not around anymore?
Bill Gates. It's just Bill Gates. Yeah, for me, it's mostly the stuff that I wound up buying, but had no before Game Pass existed. So, for example, like Halo Master Chief Collection disc and Gears Ultimate, and these discs are completely useless now. They're just right there now. Well, there was another one I was thinking of, and I lost it. I will quickly pivot to Proulx and think about what I was going to say.
Me, yes, of course.
Your boy Rocker has something really important to say.
He does. He says he's doing his part. So for whatever that means or matters, or thanks, Rocker. We really appreciate you doing all the things. Rocker's not the only one, though. Chesno says the only time I can think of is Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Surprise, a fighting game. It got added, and I didn't actually play it during the time it was on Game Pass, so it didn't affect me. In hindsight, I should have used it in order to boost the online when it was regularly available. And then Restack agrees with Heizo, who says this actually sums up my response very well. Of course, I don't have much money, so I'm not often buying games, but I don't think it would bother me too much if it did. I'm kind of in that camp too. I sort of don't buy games very frequently. In fact, Koosh, you just reminded me that I paid money for Diablo 4, which I'd forgotten about. That probably is the most a recent example. But other than that, I sort of stopped buying games generally. The only thing that sticks out in my mind, and I know this is kind of off topic, but I'm just going to bring it up because I want to yell about it every single time I can, is when Boyfriend Dungeon left Game Pass and released DLC the next day. I'm still very, very salty about that, and they should all just die. Not die. That's not true, but I was very upset about it. Anyways, doesn't matter. But yeah, no, for me, it's not really a big deal because I don't really buy that many games anymore.
To be fair, you chose to play a game called Boyfriend Dungeon, so
no, it was a good game. I liked the game. It was just so frustrating that happened. But
I agree. It was a fun game. I'm waiting for it to go on a good sale so I can buy it.
I remember what I was going to say now. I was going to talk about how Bethesda games came to the service. So I had bought games like Doom and stuff like that. So a lot of people, I'm sure, bought all these big AAA games, and then here they all are on Game Pass, which is a good problem for some, but not for everyone who bought them.
I bought Skyrim 52 times before it came to Game Pass, so you're welcome, everybody. And I would buy it 52 more times if I could, but that's not an option.
And of course, the Activision purchase. Any big Activision game you bought is going to show up on Game Pass, so get used to it.
Will it?
Yeah.
Well,
so Tony Hawk, we didn't have to pay for that, right? We could have just waited long enough.
Mass Effect.
Hey,
I have my calendar. I have my calendar counting down on that Tony Hawk game. Just waiting.
I actually won on that one. I never dipped in. So, yay!
But at least with like Bethesda and stuff like that, like it's been so long, and they take so long in between games and all that if you were going to buy it and play it, you probably were already going to buy it and play it. So it's just going to hopefully attract new people to those games.
Now we have RTTL lists and stuff that just most normal people use to play their games. Ace in chat says you can refund games that come to Game Pass within 3 months. Has anyone had experience doing this? Because I don't know.
I know I've heard people do it. Yeah.
Does that go like against your one strike count, or can you just do that for anything that comes to Game Pass repeatedly?
Can I get my Diablo money back? Has it been 3 months?
From what I've heard, as long as you don't like abuse it,
and you play,
they're
Diablo,
usually pretty good. But they are pretty strict on the time there.
While Kronos walks you through it.
Runs us through it, and he runs us through it. But yeah.
See, what Koosh would do is wind up getting a refund for Control, still not playing it, and then winding up buying it again on sale.
Yeah,
anyway,
once it leaves Game Pass, because it left Game Pass,
right?
And
exactly.
It still hasn't started.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's 0 points.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm making jobs. I'm improving the economy. Somebody has to push those buttons.
You need to exercise some self-control. Wild West. You are
all right. We are going to start with X, the Irish hero, saying literally all the time, too many to count. That was a big catalyst behind my brother and I cutting way back on buying games. Vulgar Latin says, I can't recall it happening. I'm generally happy more people get to play stuff. And then last,
nice.
Our last patron response comes from Philip Wendell, who says, what an interesting question. One aspect I like about a game coming to Game Pass is that it drives the number of players up, hopefully increasing the TA values. I mostly buy cheap games because of the plethora of long titles available on Game Pass. So my answer is that I see it as a positive, but it's unlikely anything I buy will come to Game Pass at that point. I'm kind of with X. And kind of what we talked a little bit about before, that I've stopped buying games. The nail in that coffin for me was what is it? Dragon Age Inquisition. I bought that on Amazon. Still haven't played it. And spent like $40 when they came out with that all DLC edition, and so I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna try to buy games that I'm gonna play right away. And so my next Assassin's Creed game was Valhalla, and so I bought that, but it came with all the DLC, so I spent $25 on that. And so I think it's worth it because you'd still have to buy the season pass or whatever it is that you need to buy for that to get all the DLC. So, but I try to just play games either on Game Pass or right away if I'm going to buy it that's not on Game Pass.
Like a big Alan Wake 2 type of game.
Yeah. I knew I was going to play that right away, so I'm sure it'll come to Game Pass maybe later this year, maybe next year. Remedy games usually come sometime, but like we were talking about earlier with Koosh, like I knew that I was going to get enjoyment out of it. I knew I was going to enjoy it, so I'll buy it and support the dev because I want to see more games in that area.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Very good question. Mike Pitch says my Prime sub ends in 37 minutes. Hell yeah, make sure you sub, Mike.
About as fast as you can get a Taco Bell order.
Uh-oh, Mike is talking about better hurry up the show, which reminds me that MLB The Show is probably going away at the end of March. So we better get that done. If Wild West could do it, anyone could do it.
That's true.
The walkthrough just came out. Thanks. 11 months into the game. That's a little crazy. I'm not sure if it's any good, but it seems not too detailed. It's like a little bit here, a little bit there, but maybe someone else could speak to that. But it is there, so we do have probably about 3 weeks left before it goes away.
Which is plenty enough
The
time.
new one comes out soon. Yeah, I've been still working on the Negro Leagues, and then I guess the March to October is going to be the other pain. Everything else doesn't seem too bad.
If only you knew this was coming earlier. If only you had more time.
It's not like it's ever happened before the last 3 years. At all. Drew giving me shade. Well, there's no shade in that room he's in at all. Unbelievable.
It's pitch black midnight over there.
It's always midnight in Virginia. Good band name. Okay. We have our March targets that we're all definitely working on. We're about a week away from one of the greatest days of the year, Pi Day, which of course is March 14th. 3.14. Everyone gets to eat their favorite piece of pie. Proulx, what's your favorite type of pie?
Oh my God. I don't know. Blueberry.
Incorrect. Wild West, what's your favorite
pie? Banana cream.
Whoa. Damn it. Corey stole my answer. Nate, what's your favorite kind of pie?
My favorite kind of pie? Strawberry rhubarb.
Are these real pies?
That is a real pie. My dad used to make like 2 a year, one for my birthday and one for some other day. And yeah, it's amazing.
Could have sworn you were going to say Old Bay. Something.
No Old Bay.
Old Bay. No Old Bay.
No, that's Friday.
Yes, Mr. Brocker in chat said a pizza pie is the best pie. That's what I was going to say. Yes, of course, pizza pie. I'm not a huge pie fan myself, but if I was going to pick one, I would go with pecan pie because I'm not into the fruity desserts.
Yuck.
It sounds horrible.
Jameson just shook his head. Yeah, man. You don't like to put nuts in your mouth? Come on. Pecans are delicious. Love them.
Man, you guys in chat and talking.
What?
No nuts in the mouth.
By the way, you mentioned Old Bay when you were talking to Koosh, but
yes,
those are for crab cakes, not crab pies. So that's a different category.
Yeah, we don't make crab pie. No, that doesn't happen in Maryland.
That's gross. That's not
crab pie. That sounds something contagious.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, we'll leave it alone. Yeah. Oh yeah, so make sure you get 6 achievements with a ratio of 3.14 or greater, which is what I was saying all along, for Pie Day. And we have Trilogy to get 10 achievements in games or achievements that can contain the word 3. Outside of the horrible Mass Effect trilogy, what's a good trilogy, Proulx?
Get the hell out of here, man. What is this nonsense you're spewing?
Did we get Heizo on the show real fast?
MLB, he's worse than, I think he's worse.
Left 3 Dead? I don't know. No
3 Dead, there you go. Star Trek, Star Wars.
Nope, none of them have 3.
Oh.
Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is a great game and takes place here in the capital region. So there you go. Wait, do Roman numerals count? I'm not sure if they do or not, but
they apparently do.
They do. It's right there in the show notes. Do you know the Roman numeral for 3?
Yes, it is 3.
Mm-hmm.
It is 3 things.
3
number ones
is correct. 3 lowercase L's.
3 pecans, correct.
Otherwise known as the Deadpool Wolverine 3 with the scratch.
Oh yeah, that's right. 3 Wolverine claws. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
From Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which is a Switch exclusive.
White claws.
That does not matter. Okay, that's fine.
And the third and final target is called March Around the Map. And you need to get 300 gamer score in adventure games.
Who comes up with these? Is this Fream? Can I yell at him? Is that the
absolutely can yell at him? But I don't think he's responsible.
Okay.
Fream
solely responsible. But please yell at him. Yeah.
Come on, Fream.
What would you have done differently, Proulx?
Not adventure games, but that's
MMO games.
No.
Destiny games.
No Destiny games. No.
March Around the Map makes me think like board games more than adventure, but
they could have done like a sports one, March Around Madness.
March Madness.
No one would want that. I mean,
March Madness.
Sports games any better than adventure games? Really? I mean, I don't know.
What if we made it specifically college basketball games from 2007?
Window would be very small.
I think that's the last one we did. Mike Pitch says March 14th is also a day for steak. Steak is way better than pie. But I know what you're getting at. But this is a PG show. Okay? Come on now. We only talk about pies. Nuts in the mouth.
The PG part went out a while ago.
What about shepherd's pie?
PG stands
it's
for
like pie
pecan.
with steak in it, kind of.
PG is pie goodness.
And Guinness.
I do like shepherd's pie. You put Guinness in it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. It's meat and mashed potatoes. What else?
Carrots.
That's really it.
Ladyfingers.
Cheese.
Strawberry whipped cream.
I don't think it's shepherd's pie you're eating, but
no one's gonna get the reference. Let's see if chat will get it.
I don't get it. Must be from like Anchorman or something.
No, not Anchorman. Try again.
Say it again. Strawberry goodness.
Ladyfingers. Yep, there we go. J Block got it.
Yeah, but he probably Googled ladyfingers and now he's got malware galore. That's my guess. Jables and his Canadian internet.
Government's going to his house right now.
All right, it is time for our games showcase. Rocker is having flashbacks to 2 months ago. If you don't remember, you had to be there. But we had quite a game showcase where he was involved. He laughed for a long time. KooshMoose is going to be hopefully putting a video up of the games that we're going to talk about. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And Koosh is going to be up first.
Well, thanks for asking. Yes. What I'm going to talk about, because the game I have to talk about is kind of short. So I'm kind of go into what I've been doing and why I'm playing such a short game. Because the past week or so, my Wednesday group has been chipping away at the Division 1 survival mode. And we finally, this past week, had some success with that. We were able to extract and get a few items out. And we're kind of nailing kind of how we have to do that. You know, the kind of the process. It takes about an hour for each run. So it's been a very painful experience. And we had tried this a couple times and just didn't have any real success with it our first or second time, and just kind of like lost focus, moved on to other things. But we've actually been trying it like 3 or 4, 3 weeks in a row, sometimes multiple times in a week. And we actually had success just a day or two ago. So we're going to kind of push through and try to get that done. So that's been taking up a bunch more time than usual, which is weird. And then Rocket Arena has a server shutdown on the 21st of this month. And I had started it a while ago. And I've been working on it. I've been kind of grinding away at it. It's actually pretty easy. There's nobody playing it. You're pretty much just playing bots. The achievements are like get 100 kills with, I don't know, like 10, 12 characters. And it goes kind of quickly. You get like 6 to 10 per match. And then there are match objectives and things like that. So at this point, I am, for the most part, just getting like 8 more characters to their 100 kills. 100 KOs. Just kind of grinding away at that. And I'll make it before the 21st. I don't think you can get the game now unless you get it physically. I don't think they let you download it anymore, but it is still playable, at least until the 21st. If for some crazy reason you want to do that to yourself, it's available. I've been doing my daily tidies in a little to the left. And breaking news, a couple of days ago, I think 2 days ago, they patched it. It actually had a bug that I didn't know about at the time that I talked about it initially, and that is the consecutive dailies achievements for, I guess, 7 and 14. For some reason, weren't tracking properly, so I didn't get those achievements. But they pushed a patch 2 days ago, and I did the daily, and then I got my achievement for 7 and 14 consecutive days. So I didn't pull a Fream. I'd actually been doing them daily, and it's perfect. So I'm happy with that, and just keep plugging away at that. And then also, I've been doing daily Brotato runs afternoon.
I know that life. I know that
that
life, man. I know I'm doing the same
you're
thing.
Living...
Yeah. Every single day, do at least 1 or 2 because it's really tedious.
I don't want to do 2 because I'm stretching them out to get the Game Pass quests. So afternoon, I do like a half-hour run of Brotato on easy and just get that achievement, and boom, that also counts for Game Pass quest for the day. So playing a Game Pass game and getting an achievement in a Game Pass game. So that 3 birds with 1 stone. So happy about that. So what have I been playing? This week, I'm going to talk about a tiny little game called The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo. Number one, that's an amazing name, right? I love that title. And when I watched this trailer a couple months ago, because I knew it was coming, I was just blown away by the art style. It's hand-drawn art kind of over mixed media. Sometimes it's hand-drawn background, sometimes it's photos, sometimes it's video. And it is a point-and-click game, which is why the video you're going to see is basically just the trailer. Because if I showed you gameplay, I'd be giving away I'd be ruining every single one of the puzzles. So we're not going to do that. But instead, we're just going to show the trailer, which hopefully doesn't give away any of the solutions. The game is really fun. They say it takes 1 to 2 hours on TA. I believe I'm already at like 2.5 because I'm not using a walkthrough. I'm not using a video. There is no TA walkthrough. There is, however, a Steam video that shows all the puzzles or all the solutions. And yeah, that's kind of where I am with that. But if you saw from in the trailer, like the animation style is really cool. The puzzles are all based on just clicking on the screen. So you don't have an inventory for the most part. You are just kind of trying to figure out what is the correct order. Sometimes there's a timing based puzzle, but not so much. For the most part, you can kind of just take your time with it, enjoy the animations, because it's just really cool with that mixed media. I really enjoy the art style. And sometimes it's like, it almost seems like it's a Looney Tunes cartoon or like a classic Disney cartoon. It's really well done. And the other thing I wanted to say, right. Every now and then just a little tip, if you play this game and you get frustrated, sometimes the position you have relative to an item matters. So if you're on the left side of an item and you click on it, it has a different reaction or consequence than if you're on the right side of the object and you click on it. Because you never really know what Mr. Koo is going to do when you click on something. And so far the story is pretty fantastical. It doesn't kind of like follow like the rules of physics or what you would think would happen. I think that's probably just because they had like puzzle, and just like, how do we connect them? I don't know. Let's just go to black screen or something. But then towards the end of the game, which is where I think I am, there's a set piece that covers like 3 or 4 different screens. And that seems like really the bulk of the game is that, because you're not moving on from this little puzzle onto the next screen. And so, yeah, so that's where I'm going right now. I really enjoy this game. I'm going to talk about it in the sales section. It is on sale this week. It's not a huge sale, but yeah, it's on sale this week. There are the achievements are mostly you can't miss them. But there's also chapter select. So if you do miss them, the few that are kind of optional, I think there's 2 or 3 that are optional, or you could miss them. You can go back to that chapter and get them a little more quickly than having to run all the way through. There is an achievement for completing the game without using a hint. Hints show up as like little books on the screen. So you'd have to actually intentionally click those. And I think click it twice to get that hint to happen. I haven't completed the game yet, so I don't know if accidentally clicking on the book voids that achievement or not. But once you know the solutions, it should be pretty quick to just kind of run through the game if you do mess up. There's also an achievement for finding 100 papers. I'm probably 75 to 80% done the game. I haven't found a paper yet, so that's a little concerning. I don't know if there's just like something at the end of the game where there's like 100 pages scattered. I don't know.
Copy paper, yeah.
I'll find out. I'll find out later on if I've just been missing stuff as I go along. But I mean, there's no sort of easy way to, you know how some point and click games will, give you a way to see all interactable items on the screen. This game doesn't have that. You kind of have to move your cursor over and figure out what it is you're going to click on or what you have the chance to click on. But yeah, fun little game. Like I said, I'll be talking about it in the sales section, and hopefully you'll like it because I'm enjoying it. And that is the many pieces of Mr. Koo, which is incredibly fun to say.
Did you check behind the waterfall for any of those pages?
So far, no waterfalls, but I would.
Okay, just asking.
Mental Knight in chat is saying, "Oh, Koosh, you missed the pages? Oh no."
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he's being facetious or if you're screwed now. Oh.
I don't know.
They were so obvious. They're cyan and they chirp and glow. I think he's lying.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had to play it again, I'll play it again.
Is there any difficulty aspect to it, or is it just the same?
No, there's no difficulty levels. I guess just do you want to use a hint or not? Well, the actual difficulty is not using a walkthrough, or once you start using a walkthrough, stopping.
Usual.
But that's always, once you break the seal on that walkthrough.
Do you adjust the brightness?
I did not see a brightness control. There's like a go back. And, thank you. That actually reminds me. One thing I meant to say, along with the chapter select, there's no good saving. So if you're in the middle of a chapter, it doesn't have like intra-chapter save points. So and if you don't finish that chapter and you get like 99% through and you don't click the last thing and then you quit the game, you have to do that entire chapter over again. Which once you know the solution is quick, but still, it's very that's not cool. I had worked pretty hard on one chapter and I had to go back and do it again. And it took me, 4 or 5 minutes to get back to where I had been spending 30 minutes figuring out how to get to. But unless you see that like a little loading,
what am I going to ask you?
It hasn't saved. Yeah, go ahead.
If it has quick resume, you'd be fine. I know you don't trust it, but it would be fine.
I'll tell you next week because I currently have the game sitting on quick resume, so I can go back in and finish the chapter that I'm on.
There you go.
And we'll see.
El, do you trust quick resume?
He does.
Yes, I do.
Did you not have an issue with quick resume in the past 2 weeks? Twice?
This is awkward.
I'm just asking because quick resume seemed to cause us some issues.
I'll give a PSA about quick resume.
Yes, don't use it because it's terrible and it breaks everything. Don't use it. Yes, go ahead.
It didn't really break anything.
Oh, really? We couldn't play together? That's
shut up. You should be thanking your lucky stars.
Secrets being revealed.
It didn't break any achievements, so that's all you need to know. It was in Gears 3. So if you go back in via quick resume, it doesn't boot up your DLCs. It was very weird. So that's all. We had to exit out and go back in, but
well, not we, because some of us don't
nothing
use
where
quick
we
resume.
lost progress.
You specifically had to because you were the one using quick resume.
All right. I hope you don't never lose progress in the game because you're too lazy. Too lazy. Have a power outage. You'll be happy one day. Jerk face. Speaking of jerk faces.
No, don't say it.
What? What do you mean don't say it? I was going to say. I can't change the
order. I knew how you were transitioning.
Yeah.
That was the many pieces of Mr. Koo. All right. Wild West. I'll be nice. Speaking of awesome people who I love, you are next.
All right. To bring the adult gaming side onto this panel this week,
right.
We are going to talk about Dead Island 2, the surprise Game Pass edition.
Oh, God,
and I've got to say that this was a lot better than the first game. I enjoyed it a lot, and I enjoyed the first game. It did have its bugs. The island theme was very fun, but this time it is set in Hell A. And so you kind of start, you see this intro. This is the intro cutscene here that Koosh is showing. Kind of gives you a little aspect into each of the different characters that you can choose from. They're all on a plane, and then the plane gets shot down, and you get to, as it's getting kind of shot down, you choose the character you want. Each character has some different abilities that you can go with. And so it shows all the good and bad stuff that they have. And so you can go through. I would say that none of the attributes were that great. So it really, the characters are not, for the attributes that they gave, they weren't great, but Anyway, so I chose Jacob as my character and started the story. Your plane gets shot down, and then you just kind of you get shot down with an in-game famous movie star who invites you to her house. So you make your way over to her house first off, and then the story kind of branches off from there. You have different areas in Los Angeles that you get to visit, and they're pretty big areas. There's a movie studio set piece. There's the beach. There's a few beach set pieces, a few in the city. So, it was a pretty good branching of LA that you get to visit through and meet different characters. Of course, with Dead Island, it comes with a lot of different weapons. As you'll see, this guy's using a hook, I think, or something. There's about, I would say, 10 to 15 basic weapons, and then you can customize them from there. As you go throughout the game, you'll get access to different blueprints that you can create mods and perks for your weapon. They go from common and uncommon all the way through rare, superior, and legendary is the top ones. So by the end of the game, you'll be getting a lot of superior weapons. And then as you do in-game quests and finish the game, you'll start getting access to legendary weapons. The common and uncommon weapons usually only have 1 or 2 slots for your mods and perks that you can put on the weapons. The legendary usually has about 5 to 7, depending on which one it has. So legendary weapons, the good thing about those is that you get access to more mods and perks that can help your weapon be better and kill the zombies a lot faster. So kind of like so you'll your weapons will degrade like they do in the first game, and then throughout the different levels and the missions that you'll go on, the side quests, all of that stuff, there'll be workbenches around. You'll see them on your map, and you can also see them on the kind of the direction that you'll be going. You'll kind of see, you can see little points on the map as whenever you're turning around or moving and stuff like that. So you can see where the workbenches are. You can see where a gun safe is as well. Gun safe, you can store all your weapons. I mean, I had probably 40 weapons in there, and it still was letting me save. So you can save as much as you want. And then the workbench, as you'll see in the action stuff. So this guy right now on screen has like halfway before his weapon will get destroyed. It doesn't, when the weapons gets used up like that, it doesn't break beyond repair. You just have to, you can't use it until you go to the workbench. So you're able to, when you're fully loaded, you could have access to, I believe it was 8 weapons that you get to carry around. So I used 4 melee weapons, and then you get access to guns later on as well. So you have your basic pistols and rifles and shotguns and all that stuff. So ammo is not very plentiful, but it's enough that you can use it pretty often once you have access to it, if that's the way you want to go. You can also find blueprints to make different ammo as well. So you can, at a workbench in the middle of the level, if you need to make some shotgun shells or whatever, you can do that as well. I enjoyed the side quests a lot. So there's an achievement for doing 40 side quests, which seems like a lot, but once you start going through them, you can move through them pretty fast. And some of them count double, as you'll have something called missing weapons and missing people quests as well. So those all roll into side quests. So you can go through the missing weapons and the missing peoples, and you'll get it'll count towards the side quests. The missing weapons you can do, that'll usually give you legendary weapons. It's some kind of treasure hunt usually. And then missing people, you'll have access into the different safe areas. There'll be posters like you'll see in kind of those typical end of worlds where they have the posters on there where people are trying to find stuff. You'll just have access to those different missions as well as you're going through the game. You can complete the story and then you can always go back to the different areas after you complete the story. So I just ended up going through all the missions first, and then I finished up all the side quests and missing people, missing weapons at the end. So I just ended up doing that. There is an achievement for getting to the different levels, with the highest being level 30. So you'll get an achievement there, and it tracked for me, so everything was working out well. I will say the one negative aspect I have was somehow my game kind of glitched a little bit when I got to the end cutscene, and I didn't get to see it, and I didn't even know there was an end cutscene. I got to the end last mission, finished it up and everything, and then all of a sudden, like, it was going the credits, and I was like, okay, well, this kind of sucks. And then I was watching a video for something else, and I saw their end cutscene, so I just ended up watching it on YouTube. So I don't know if I got a glitch or what, but ended up having something happen, and didn't get to see it, but it did kind of end abruptly. It kind of seemed like it was more focused on setting up a sequel to it. But the whole missions and story was really well done. I thought I really enjoyed the wacky atmosphere that they created in Los Angeles there. And then to finish up, there's 2 DLCs packs that they have announced so far. One of them is out right now. And I wasn't planning on buying it, but I ended up just using some of my Microsoft reward points and got a $10 gift card to pay for almost all of it. And I enjoyed it. It takes you to a new area in Malibu for a cult that kind of worships the zombies and all that stuff. You get to explore that area. So it was about 2 to 3 hours for that DLC pack, and we'll see when the next one comes out. Probably be end of the year. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I'd recommend it if you kind of like the first one. I think you'll like this one a lot more. And if you didn't really like it, I still think that overall they improved a lot on this game and made it a lot better. It's about 25 to 30 hours to complete, and I don't think there's anything missable because you can go throughout the whole game. There's no guide. I didn't follow any guide or walkthrough. I just kind of looked at the achievements from where I was at and what I need to do, and there's tracking on it, everything. So anything that needs to be tracked, it is. And so you'll get achievements for doing side quests, you'll get achievements, mission achievements, you'll get the level achievements. There's a few weapon achievements in there, but they're all pretty standard and basic, nothing that you have to go out of your way for. So overall, really good game.
Can I ask a question? Because you said
Sure.
that if you kind of liked the first game, you should check this out. But what if you actively hate Dead Island 1 like I do? Is there anything that's going to change my mind here? Because it does sort of look samey. It looks exactly kind of how I remember Dead Island being.
Yeah, I mean, if you, I know it seems like Dead Island's one of those ones that you either really liked it or you really didn't like it. I don't know. I like Dead Island. I know my co-op partner didn't like it, the first game, and he didn't like it too much. But he was the one that messaged me. He's like, "Oh, there's Dead Island 2's on Game Pass. You want to play there is a co-op achievement for doing 5 missions together with a co-op partner, and then there's a revive achievement for getting revives on your co-op partner." So he was like, "Well, do you want to knock those out?" And I was like, "Sure." And I was kind of surprised because he didn't like it, but he's starting to play through it now, and he's kind of feels the same way. So I would say if you didn't like it, you probably won't. But I mean, I think it's a lot more fun in this time versus I felt like Dead Island 1 was very serious and just, I don't know, like this one just kind of leans into the Hollywood aspect of it and over the top characters that the media portrays. Like there's a main character that's she's an actress, and she just, like, it kind of plays in how the media portrays actresses and everything. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's very satire, I guess is the right word for it, on it. And I liked it, but I mean, if the gameplay, if you see that and you don't like it, you probably won't.
This workbench is gripping me, man. Gotta say.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. I got plenty of money. I had plenty of ammo. I never really felt like I was having to save stuff at all. But
he put that bloody axe down and picked up a non-bloody axe. That was woo. It was awesome. Yeah. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I agree with Proulx. First game was not good. And it was very buggy. Like, we would go through floors, and 2 of the 4 of us lost our saves, and it was bad.
So this game came out, I believe, last year, and I didn't have any issues with it. I don't really recall seeing much when it came out about issues with the game. I mean, beyond the typical stuff they do nowadays anyways, but yeah, so it was April 21st, 23. So
I mean, TA has one of those warnings on it. This game is known to be buggy. Achievement progress may not track, and or achievements may not unlock at all. I mean, once you see that, you're like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, everything tracked
no
well for me.
problems
I
there?
didn't have any issue. Nope, no, none for me.
And you played this with your mysterious co-op partner?
We played the first 5 missions together, got the revive achievement, got the co-op stuff, and then he was finishing up Psychonauts 2, and I was doing this, so.
You played solo the rest of the way?
Yeah, I played solo the rest of the way.
So what happens when you die? Do you just respawn?
Yeah, so you respawn like a minute later. Like they save frequently, and there's really no. It's not like you lose stuff. You don't lose weapons. You'll lose if you used a between the last save and like a med pack, you might lose a med, or you might get it back if depending on where the save is, or you might have lost it. But there's really no bad things for dying. But I like it, as you can see, there's different zombies on the screen this time instead of just there was different in the first game, but this one I felt like they kind of had, like, there's shock ones, there's fire zombies, they have kind of acid zombies and everything. So it was fun to see the different varieties and different weapons you got to use to fight them.
Okay. As my buddy Koosh would say, I'm happy you're happy.
Now, would you say that the weapon breaking was annoying? Like, was it like all the time?
No, it wasn't all the time.
Okay.
Because you have enough workbenches to deal with it. It costs money to repair them, but by the end game, you have to get $1 million for a zombie entry into a little book that can help you. And I didn't really have to grind after the game. After I did all the side quests, after I did all the main missions, I was at like $850,000 because you just get weapons upon weapons and you just take them to the shop and sell them.
Is there a master sword that doesn't break?
No, there's no master sword.
Okay.
But I rarely had anything break because by the time that I would fight zombies using whatever weapon I was using or using a few weapons, by the time that I would move on to the next part of the map, there'd be a workbench and I'd just repair it and move on.
Cool. Yeah, because I hate that. I hate breakable weapons.
Yeah.
It's 4 players again, I assume?
It's just 2.
Oh, really?
Isn't that the worst when like a game goes from like a lot of people to a smaller amount of people? It's really annoying.
Yeah,
that's
it's
interesting.
Just 2.
I would have assumed 4. You were propositioned, Proulx, by Rucker Dude to have a holy union.
I'm propositioned by Rocker Dude daily. I don't know what to tell you, man. That just happens.
I mean, you know, it's that beautiful, beautiful head of yours. Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, and Corey Rocker. Or what was his wrestler name? Jeff Corey? I forgot. Damn.
Corey Feldman was Donatello. You know that very well.
That's true. True. That's the only thing he's known for.
I mean, that's the best thing he's known for, but that doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead, Al.
Where am I going?
You're next. You're next. Yep.
So I was going to ask about nope, I'm not going to ask. That was Dead Island 2. It is my turn. And this is where you would expect me to talk about an East Asia soft game. But no, I have something much different. This is a game from Sometimes You. Oh, look at this beautiful game. This is called Mangavania. And this is a platformer, as you can see. It is in glorious black and white with the occasional red when you have some dripping blood or when you have some hearts. Or one cool thing is you pass these little candles or torches and they light up so you can know where you've been. So that's actually very cool. And there are 20 levels. And Mike Pitch, I'm going to help you get through these stacks really quickly. Oh, look, you found a Spanish video or something. So what you want to do is go through the first level several times. The reason you want to do this is because the first level is only about 10 seconds. And every time you beat the level, you get money. And the money is used to buy upgrades. You want to guess what one of the upgrades is, KooshMoose?
It's got to be double jump, right?
It's definitely double jump. Yes. So of course this game is Vayner confirmed. Yes, there's a double jump for 30 coins, dash for 30 coins, and you start off with 3 hearts and you could buy 2 more hearts. Once you get those 3 upgrades, you can breeze through the rest of the game. Whenever you die, you can pay some more coins to start off as a checkpoint as opposed to restarting the level. So the main objective is to find 3 of those little fairies and you hit them, and then the exit opens and you go to the exit. It is very minimalistic, but I found it pretty fun for one of these type of games. I didn't use a guide or anything. I just went through, and the levels are pretty easy to navigate. I didn't even get lost. There's breakable floors and there's elevators and stuff like that. What else did I write down? The one thing that I didn't like too much was the achievement list. They could have added a couple more things to it. There's 20 levels and there's just 20 achievements to complete the 20 levels. I'm not sure what I would have added, but maybe, I don't know, anything cool they would have added would make the game harder, I guess, like beating certain levels in a certain amount of time, something like that. But the faster you beat the levels, the more coins you get. There are 2 bosses on levels 10 and levels 20, but you could just go in Reckless Abandon and spam them, and then if you die, you just do a checkpoint, and you'll beat this game. Now, unlike East Asia Soft games that have multiple title updates, this one actually has multiple stacks. So there's the Xbox One version, and there's the, I guess, the normal version, the Xbox Series X version, and then the Windows version. So you have a triple stack, and each one will run you $5.
Do they only have is it 1,000 gamer score?
Yeah. It's only 1,000 gamer score, like the old days.
So far,
I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. This was a nice change of pace. I know next to Dead Island 2, it's but this is Mangavania. You see that he died in the video, and he just used a checkpoint. He's right back where he was.
You guys always find the best videos for it.
Did you use quick resume?
This guy's. Yes, I used quick resume and lost all my progress. I had to start over. Yeah. Oh, Mike Pitch says, reminder with sometimes U games, if you buy the Xbox One version first, you typically get 50% off of the series stack. I did not know that. I'm going to have to go to the store right now and see what I find. Mangavania Series X, show in Microsoft Store. Educational podcast, buy $2.49. Holy cow, you were right. Mike Pitch, probably the cheapest man alive, has taught me something. It sounds familiar. Something Energy Cycle did something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they did do that.
Yeah. So yeah, Proulx is going to send me $2.50, and because I taught him how to.
Once he gets that Diablo money back,
I taught him how to use. Well, I taught him how to use Bing rewards and auto redeem. So he's rolling in the money now.
He did.
Although they did just nerf those points a little bit today, and people are not happy.
What did they?
Weird. Someone on the internet's not happy.
Yeah, it's more points to get. Xbox gift cards are more points now, as of today.
Oh.
By a little bit. Is it just the auto redeem? Jable says no discount on auto redeem now. Oh well, that's what it is. Yeah, which is good in a way because I would use the auto redeem for $10, and if you don't use it in 3 months, it actually expires, which is really silly.
Yeah.
And going back to the beginning of the show, yeah, I don't really buy stuff that much anymore, so I couldn't even find stuff to buy $10 with free money. Yeah, so not much else to say about Mangavania, except I enjoyed my time with it. Yeah, it's once you do the first stage a few times, you can wrap up the rest of the game in less than an hour. So it's very quick.
Do you know how Mighty Mango feels about this game?
Mighty Manga?
Yeah.
That's a whole different podcast, brother.
Okay, I'm just asking. I was just curious.
That's X the hero guy. I don't know. Waifus have to do with manga. I assume so. All right, Proulx. You will need to quickly resume the podcast by talking about your game.
Well, yeah. So Koosh asked, what do I want to talk about? And the thing is, like, I have been working on a lot of big games, sort of piecemeal, like just doing daily stuff. For example, I'm just going to briefly go through a couple. Halo Wars 2. I've completed most of the game except for the stupid weekly achievements, the weekly challenge achievements. I have done it multiple times at this point, but that game is so broken. You would never think that it was, developed by Microsoft, or at least have the support of Microsoft behind it. That game is a frustrating mess. Anyways, doesn't matter. And then I thought, I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, but that is literally the antithetical achievement game. That's a game you would never, ever want to get into. I'm starting to head into hour 200, and I'm like, sort of feel like I'm spinning my wheels at this point. So I'm like, nah, can't talk about that. But my monthly game for BCMX is Brawlout. I had to look because Brawlhalla is different than Brawlout. So, I fancy myself a big Pokemon fan and a big Smash Brothers fan. And I want to get all of those clones done. But it turns out these clones are terrible for achievements. By the way, you are actually showing Brawlhalla, which is not Brawlout. So just so you know,
I was waiting.
I will double check.
This is definitely the case because Brawlhalla is a 2D platform fighter game. Brawlout is a 3D. Very different. They're not different. It doesn't really make a difference.
It's just like Outer Wilds versus Outer Worlds.
No, those are very different games. Those are very different games. But anyways, but it's the interesting thing, right, about like something like a Smash clone, right? Maybe you don't feel this way that I do, but like Smash Brothers it's like Mario Kart, right? Like everybody loves Mario Karts, and Mario Kart.
You don't
clones,
need skill for either of them.
No, stop. But Mario Kart clones, in terms of like mechanics, like they're all not good like comparatively, right? Like Mario Kart is the high bar, right? Smash Brothers is, there we go. That's it. You got it. Nice. So Smash Brothers, which I've played thousands and thousands of hours of, is the high bar. And then when like these smaller companies come in and they're like, you give them effort. They put their hardest effort in, but it's like mechanically these games are not on the same level. But anyways, doesn't matter. This is the game that I got picked for my
game. Have Guacamole.
It does
dude.
have Guacamole dude. What's his name?
Yay,
Juan. Yeah.
Juan Agagate.
Yep. It also has Ukulele and Dead Cells dude. And maybe possibly
others.
That
guy. He's
his name is Dead Cells.
Alive?
Literally, his character his name is Dead Cells. Brawlhalla actually has the turtles and bunch of there's a whole bunch of crossover stuff that people do because that's one of the really cool things about Smash is like celebrating video games in general. Anyways, Brawl Out, which we're talking about right here, which is the game that's on screen, is fine. It's fine. but it's just clunky and sort of awkward and like the mechanics are just like slow and it's not easy at all. I'm kind of struggling with some of the achievements that I'm going for now, and it's a super long grind. So this is not a great achievement game. I'm sorry, guys, but this is what I've been struggling with for a little while now. But it is a thing that exists, and we'll talk about it in sales as well. But it's just it is just a platform fighter with, I don't know, maybe like 12, 15 fighters. I can't remember how many it is at this point, but a lot of them are costume upgrades and stuff. I thought it was a free play game, but that might be Brawlhalla, and Brawlout are very, very hard to distinguish in my mind.
No.
So are you mad that somebody lost? Is that where you're upset now?
No, I'm mad that this game is on my tag.
You will never get it done. I promise you $1,000 you'll never get it done.
Was this a Game Pass game?
I think it might have been
early Game Pass, because it's 2018. It was put on my tag, and I cannot access it anymore. So I might have to buy this.
Brawlhalla is free to play, but Brawlout was
no. Oh.
No, I'm trying to think if it was like a free weekend or a free, because I don't think I paid money for it either, but I don't remember. Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
There he is right there.
It's on sale, like you said.
Yeah, it is on sale.
Oh, yeah, Blanca. Wait, is that Blanca?
No, that's not Blanca. That's just some.
He
does have lightning. He does have lightning powers.
Look at that color scheme.
Yes, I'm sure it's intentional, but anyways,
son of a gun.
Not important. But that's Brawlout, and don't get into it if you haven't played it yet. Not worth the squeeze.
So tell us about these bad achievements. Like what they're just difficult?
Well, yes. So, for example, I just got today, after much struggling, I got the you have to complete the medium arcade mode without losing a stock, and you're playing against 2 or 3 other characters that each have 3 stocks each. There's also a hard achievement for that where you have to go further. It's like 15 levels or whatever without losing a stock. But really the biggest thing, like there are 3 or 4 skill-based achievements, but really the biggest thing is the grind. And you have to get 5 characters up to level 15 or whatever. And estimates were putting that at about 10 hours a character. So, and that's just like empty grinding. Like that's just like plugging in your second controller and punching them till they fall off the screen. Like that's not fun grinding. That's like that. I didn't think you can. Maybe you can try to find a way to automate that, but I'm not sure. But it's just a miserable achievement list. It's not fun. It's like 7,000, 8,000 TA or something. It's for a reason, I think.
Wow.
So it looks like there's DLC, these Brawlouts.
Yep.
Brawlout 2.0.
Yep. And that's just a different mode. That's just like a separate single player story mode where you have to. I got to the last boss, and it's challenging. It's like it's not easy. It's just a thing that you have to be good at the game to get it done.
Oh no. Okay. That costs money, right?
No, I think it was free. Pretty sure it's free. I don't think I paid money for this game at all, but I could be wrong.
Well, you must have at some point.
I could have. I thought it was free at some point. I really did. I thought
That's what I said. I can't access it, and it's on my tag, so I don't know.
Yeah, trust me, you don't.
But it looks like the Brawlout Deluxe Edition is a different thing you could buy, and that comes with the biker Olaf, and that looks like that's part of the DLC. So
no, you don't need for sure.
No.
I definitely didn't pay for DLC. Like I might have bought the game at some point, but I definitely didn't pay for DLC. So I don't think you need anything other than the actual game.
Okay.
Just telling you. That's Brawlout. So Brawlhalla, very different, but also very much the same. But
that makes sense.
Well, I could show that. I've got it. You know.
Yeah, we know you do.
I'm not saying anything about saying games with gold or a free weekend or anything.
God, I can't.
Yeah, it shows that I own Brawlout, but not.
Oh, it could have been a mix pot. I think maybe it was a mix pot at some point. I'm telling you, I didn't pay for this game.
Standard edition is what shows in the store, but if I scroll down and I look at what's included in it, the base Brawlout I own. Now, I tend to buy games, so there's a chance I bought it on sale, but I also own it. And
it's a game.
Play this.
It's an indie game. You bought it.
Hey, if I can earn more achievements with Juan, I'm gonna do it. So maybe just the
Brawlout,
one.
Brawlout 2.0 does not have a price attached to it, so it's just an update. It's literally just an update.
Oh.
I think it was a mix. I'm telling you, it was given away in some fashion. There was something.
No, I was just going off TA's like forum thing with all the news, and I didn't see anything about free play or anything. But let's see.
Dead Cells, Juan from Guacamelee, Ukulele, I think.
It says Juan.
He turns you into a chicken with one of his attacks. So it's very Guacamelee-y.
I figured it out. Okay. All right. Well, that was Brawl Out. And it so happens that game might be on sales. KooshMoose, what tabs you got?
All right, I got a couple. I've got the Super Toy Cars Collection. This is $7.50 down from $30. It's arcade racing automobile, and the estimates for the 3 games you'll find in this are 6 to 8 hours, 4 to 5 hours, and 8 to 10 hours, and you get yourself 3,000 gamer score by completing these fairly easy, kind of cartoonish automobile racing games. Next up, we have a game you may have heard of recently called The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo. It's $7 down from $20. It's a little steep if it's actually 1 to 2 hours, I think. But I really enjoy the art style and the game itself. There you go. $7 down from $20. Next up, and lastly, the My Universe Collection. Yes, that's right. If you've been waiting, it's finally on sale. It's $10 down from $50. This includes 3 games. My Universe Interior Designer, which is a management game, 6 to 8 hours. My Universe, My Baby, which is a simulation game that I would actually play. It's 5 to 6 hours. And My Universe School Teacher is a management game that's 8 to 10 hours and has 1 unobtainable. So if that sounds good to you, like it does to me, check it out. My Universe Collection.
So that sounds wonderful. Which, of course, is totally a segue into Guacamelee 2 being on sale. $5.62, which is a pittance. Cup of coffee. You can get Guacamelee 2 and the DLC. So it is 75% off. You can't go wrong. This is one case where even KooshMoose can agree with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Al, you got it. And if you missed out on the first game, that's also on sale for $3.74. Get 2 of the best Metroidvanias on the Xbox. And 2 classic Batman games are on sale. The Arkham Collection, or the Batman Return to Arkham bundle is Arkham Asylum and Arkham City for $5 for 2 great games. So if you don't have those, grab them. And then go over to Luck of the Irish West guy, who will tell you some more good games to buy. And 1 bad one.
All right. We've got the BioShock Collection, $9.99 down from $49.99. It's going to be the year of the BioShock, as Koosh and I have talked about this year. Got a bunch of BioShock clones coming out, so you can get the original good collection there for $10. 3 great games. Highly recommend that.
Still pretty crazy. Like, those are games people... That's basically $180 worth of games, if you think about it. Like, people definitely got those games brand new.
Yeah. Well,
those are big games.
Yeah, I bought the last 2 brand new. The first one, I'd have to look back and see... On the 360, the original one, I'd have to see how much. I remember seeing commercials for it and everything, but I don't know when it came out versus when I played it. But All right, moving on to the next one. You got the Nobody Saves the World plus the DLC for $11.19, down from $27.99. You missed out on it on Game Pass for the bundle there. You can get that. And then L's Game of the Year, Farm Together.
Oh no.
$9.99, down from $19.99. So it ties its price for the lowest ever. Gives you a lot of, just as Koosh says, cozy fun. It's a cozy fun management game. There's no pressure. Stuff just spawns when you're overtime, so you can put the game down and come back and everything's bloomed and ready to farm and everything. And there's Farm Together 2 coming out, so get you ready for that one.
Wait, that was real?
No, yeah, that's real.
But I had like a fever dream or something that you.
Oh, it's happening.
Nope.
Oh man, thought I had a dream that you sent me a link to that. Oh, come on.
Yep.
Oh.
Why are they not calling it Farm Together? Like fast, not too
TWO?
fast, too furious. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. Why are they not doing that?
Wow.
Yeah, instead of giving you a tractor, they give you a race car.
Well, like a Lamborghini tractor or something, right? Like,
there you go.
I mean, did you to be fair, did you check out all the mods for your tractor? I mean, you could make it look pretty cool.
I looked a little bit. I didn't look too much.
Yeah, if you sold enough pecans.
You know, it'd be nice if they could make it so your damn tractor doesn't run out of freaking fuel, so you don't have to run to a gas station every 5 freaking seconds. Yeah, the game's annoying.
If you build your farm up enough and have enough stuff, you can just make gas stations everywhere. You don't have to do it.
No, you shouldn't need it. I want to do chores.
Don't listen to him. He fell asleep way too quick to run out of gas. Like we're not even close to that level.
That's not even the right kind of gas that I want to have during that game. Like, no, I don't.
I think that was the first time I played. Elle was like, "Hey, come play this game with us," and I was like, "All right." They come in there, and he's just sitting there in the pond, asleep.
Yeah, because it's like, I built this carrot, and now I have to wait 2 hours for it to grow. Like, no, that why?
You know, you should build more than one vegetable at a time, right?
Oh, you could do that.
I made 1 carrot.
Yeah.
I've got this patch of 9 carrots.
I'm
just gonna sit here for 2 hours. And...
When I came back 2 hours later, it was a very delicious carrot. So don't undermine me. Proulx, your turn.
Yeah. So a game I haven't talked about before, but you mentioned Juan in Guacamelee. Brawlout is actually on sale right now, $8. Apparently, you have to pay for it. I was not aware, and I don't remember doing it, but apparently I did, and so you can too. $8 down.
Brawlout or Brawlhalla?
No, Brawlout. Brawlhalla is free. It's very different. Brawlhalla is very free to play. They're very, very different games.
Are you sure it's not Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl?
I haven't touched that one yet, dude. I played the other one, the 360 one.
Does that have turtles?
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that has turtles.
It's got
turtles.
Punch Time Explosion XL plus something like that.
I like turtles.
Yeah. Anyways, doesn't matter. Besides that, I would also recommend the season pass for Overcooked 2. I think it was like $3. I can't remember now, but it is fantastic. I love the DLC for that game. I love that game in general, but Overcooked 2. If you don't have that stuff, pick it up now.
It's $10, but yeah. Half price.
Brawlhalla thing, and it's like Outer Wilds versus the Outer Worlds. Like I could never keep those straight.
They are very, very different games.
Yeah, I will never be able to tell you that.
See?
Like, I can't tell you which one is which.
Outer Wilds is Outer Worlds is essentially Fallout Plus. Outer Wilds is a puzzly. Outer Wilds is great. Everybody should play Outer Wilds. It's a fantastic game. Doesn't matter. They're very different games. One's a shooter, one's a puzzle. Koosh, Outer Wilds is a you game.
Okay.
And Outer Worlds is a not you game.
It's a Wild West
this
game.
is the sort of thing where like I would get a tattoo. And this is the only tattoo I would get because it would actually help me from making that mistake of playing the wrong one or forgetting which one is which. So
and plus there's only one of them has the, right? So the Outer Wilds and now I'm gonna.
So I want the or I don't want the.
No, you don't want
you
the.
want the.
You don't want the.
The.
The Outer Wilds and
like
Outer Worlds. God, now I'm gonna get it next to my own brain. I can't think, but that's fine.
You're not helping your point here. You're like, wait, it's not that bad. It's this. You're like, wait, no, I can remember it.
So Mental wants to know if we know the difference between Dead Rising and Dead Island, and Dead Cells and Deadpool and Dead Space. I made up those last ones. No, we don't. Good. The free Mixpot game was Outer Wilds. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was. I got that one for
that one. All right. It's time for Nate's favorite segment, but for some reason, Wild West does it. Game Pass news.
And we didn't get podcasted because we got a bunch of news. So we've got out now,
Yay.
Space Engineers on cloud console and PC, 150 to 200 hour management game. We have the aforementioned Dead Island 2, role-playing, open-world, action horror, 25 to 30-hour base game with a new DLC at 2 to 3 hours. Just released also, we have Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun, cloud console and PC. It's a first-person shooter, 10 to 12 hours, and there is accessibility options that you can turn on with invincibility that does not disable achievements, and the difficulties are stackable.
Hang on, can I ask a question about that? Sorry, I know.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Warhammer games are known to be ginormous time slogs. This is a 10 to 12 hour Warhammer game? This is a thing?
Like a pixel
boomer shooter.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
It's like it's mixed up. I think I was reading today. It was like 80s to 90s retro. Because I guess that's retro now. But yeah,
it does a really good job of making you feel like you're wearing that heavy armor too. Like you move kind of quickly, so it's not like a really plodding game. But like when you jump, you feel the weight of that armor. So it's pretty cool.
Cool.
And then I just got the notification that Paw Patrol World, much to Koosh's delight, is out now on cloud console and PC. Action adventure, 6 to 8 hours.
I have to go. I wish you all luck.
I just got the notification that KooshMoose has completed the game.
It's awesome.
Must have accessibility options as well. Okay.
He just used them.
So coming
He
up
did.
on March 12th, you have SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated on cloud console and PC. Platformer of 12 to 15 hour. Yep, license game. I'm sure we'll hear about that. And then a great game of the year, Control Ultimate Edition, cloud console and PC. So it's third-person shooter with 1,390 gamer score, 30 to 35 hour completion with a walkthrough, and you get all DLC in the Ultimate Edition.
Thanks,
DLCs
Koosh.
are very good.
You're welcome.
Big L wants to know what the difference between the Ultimate Edition and the regular is.
The regular does not have the DLC, and the Ultimate Edition does have the DLC, and it's all built in to one. But if you do buy the disc, which is what I did, you get access to everything. You get access to the Control game without the DLC, and you get access to the Ultimate Edition. So if you ever see that on sale and you want all those stacks, buy the disc. March 14th.
390 gamer score. Weird. Okay.
Hot take, Control is the best Remedy game.
Okay. Can we edit that part out? Can we edit that part out later?
That's right. We don't edit. We don't edit here.
He's turning red. It's a live show. I see it.
All right. March 14th. No More Heroes 3, cloud console and PC. Open world hack and slash, 67 to 100 hours. Lightyear Frontier is coming out on March 18th. Simulation open world management, but it's coming as early access, so do with that as you will. March 19th, MLB The Show 24, sports baseball. I'm sure L will just go right in from 23 into 24 right away and not wait until the last second next year.
Definitely. Just like last year.
Or Mike either. So March 19th also, we have Open Roads on Adventure. Open Roads. It's an adventure game from Annapurna Interactive. And March 28th, both Koosh and Proulx are definitely upset that Diablo 4 is coming and they paid money for it and they haven't played it yet, or maybe they have played it. I don't know. But anyways, Diablo 4, 200 to 300 hours, action RPG, role-playing, hack and slash, dungeon crawler.
Fun fact, if you're best buds with the ex-Povos, he'll do all the work for you and you just get the achievements. So good luck to all of you people who aren't. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing, but No, but seriously, he has done most of the work.
Ex
Like, I do that.
Provost, dude. Come on now.
Don't
you know the podcast lore?
Kronos. I know who he is.
Oh.
And the Super Bob Hammer did not come that much for leaving Game Pass, but on March 15th, you have Hard Space Shipbreaker, Simulation Management, 50 to 60 hours, 1,560 gamer score with a title update. Can hear Koosh talk about that on a previous episode. He loved that game.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard only good things. I'll probably end up buying that one myself. We have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered. Role-playing real-time strategy game, 80 to 100 hours. So best get on that if you want to even try. And we had Shredders, open world sports, snowboarding, 8 to 10 hours. Maybe Rocker can give his opinion on it. I saw that he completed it. I think he talked about it too.
Oh, that new TMNT game? Sweet.
Yeah,
no.
Sorry.
No? Man.
I am sad that I'm missing Hard Space Ship Breaker, Koosh, on your recommendation. I wanted to play it and I never got around to it, but
shame.
It sounded like a game
You got time. You got time.
I mean, do I have 60 hours of time?
Well, I was reading.
I
was reading on it, and it seems like the time. I don't know. Maybe Koosh can say to that again, but I was reading that some people were saying it was kind of inflated that time. To finish it. Wasn't
they did.
Much.
Yeah, they added extra, like an update that gave more gameplay. It looks like I spent 71 hours. Now I wasn't shooting for the achievements. I was just having fun working for free in a shipyard out in space. That was fun. So I would do this while I was. Oh gosh, what show was I watching? I can't remember. I was watching Netflix while I was doing this. So there were accidents. Let's just put it that way. But even the accidents are fun. So I enjoyed it.
Did you play? Did you play before the title update or after?
I played, I think, after.
Okay.
I might have actually straddled that fence. I'm not positive because I do remember the score kind of going up a little bit. So it's possible.
So I was just reading, some people were saying that they had played before the title update, so then they had to play the title update. But if you played after, then you can kind of combine stuff that is on both. That cuts it down a little bit on.
If I had to pick one, I probably played it after.
And Nerdy Neo gives his recommendation against Shredder. He says controls are bad. So do with that with you will. Speaking of that, we need another SSX game on the Xbox.
Oh.
Let's get tricky.
I actually played that game. That was good. Yeah,
Tricky or SSX?
SSX Tricky.
They were different games.
Well, yes. I mean, yes.
Oh, yeah. They're different. All right. It is now time for the live show special Gamertag Challenge. I have a feeling this is going to be a good one. KooshMoose, let's talk about it.
Yeah, we should just skip it this month. Like, we don't need to talk about it.
All right. Sounds. Wait a minute.
I hear someone can't win.
Waiting 5 years for this.
All right. Well, okay. We'll talk about last month. You're right. We should talk about last month. Our Patreon Gamertag was Stega. His wildcard games, any new achievement or previous completion in the Alan Wake Waka, never heard of it series.
The third for the bonus game I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard it's the worst remedy game. The bonus was gotta catch them all. Achievement for catching or collecting all of any type of collectible.
So mad.
And the bonus, I'm going to disable his mic here real quick. The bonus was it belongs in a museum for excavating an achievement that contains all of the letters STEG and 2 A's in the achievement title. And we had a lot of people actually do that. So good job finding that. We had 21 participants total. 110 letters were, lettered or spelled. There were 17 completed gamer tags. There were 5 wildcards being used, and there were 162 bonuses, which is possible because a lot of people got the bonus. Our high scoring people of note are Ace with 17 bonuses, Chewy with 23 bonuses, and Captain Chaos tied with Chewy for 23 bonuses. And our winner, after all was said and done, is Ben L72.
Congratulations, Ben.
Yay!
I guess we can talk about it. We have now completed a full pass through all the patron gamer tags. It's only taken us 50 some weeks to do that. I'm sorry, 52 or 50 some months. My apologies. Really. So we are about to kind of loop around and maybe try some new things. But in the meantime, for a month or two, we're going to try some different stuff. So I'm going back on my word of saying that we'll never do Big L as the gamertag challenge. The gamertag you have to spell is Big L can't win. And the wildcard game is any new achievement or previous completion in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series.
Yay.
The bonus is stop trying to make Simul a thing, because it's not. And that's for earning an achievement in a game starting with the same letter as a game that Big L has earned an achievement in this month. And on the spreadsheet that we have, there's a link to his monthly tracking, so you can see which games he has popped an achievement in, and you can then pick your letter accordingly. You do not have to play the exact same game, because we wouldn't want you to buy that garbage. And Simul's not really a thing, so don't do that. Just don't do that. The bonus is Big L wants a sandwich, if you can believe it. And that is for earning an achievement with a sandwich ingredient in the name, limiting 5. You can only do 5 ingredients. And the tastiest sandwich, as voted on by Big L on the live show next month, will get 20 additional bonus draws. So maybe it actually won't be on the live show because I have to do the polling to figure out who wins. So maybe we'll talk about it. Big L can announce his favorite sandwich, which I will know ahead of time, so we can do the random draw. There you go. Big L can't win.
Yeah, because we all know he comes early and prepared and ready to go. So
blueberry pie. Let me ask you a question real quick, because
blueberry pie.
The top thing is any new achievement or previous completion in the Turtle series.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bonus is stop trying to make simul a thing. But I've gotten a bunch of Turtles completions with L himself. How much bonus points do I get for playing with L weekly and doing all of these things already? I think I should just win. Honestly, well, Michelle should win first. To be fair, Michelle just wins. She just wins.
To top it off, you keep telling me that pizza is a sandwich. So
no, I've never done that. I've never
that's hot dog.
I don't know. You have some strange takes. But if you fold over the pizza, though, in New York style, it's like 2 pieces of bread with some cheese and meat in the middle. So it could be a sandwich.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
No, that's a wild card. That's if you can't spell one, or you don't have one of the letters in Big L can't win. You can do a wild card by earning an achievement in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game or having a previous completion, and you only get one wild card. So no matter how many games you've completed or how many achievements in the TMNT game you've earned, you get one letter. If you have any questions about that, go to the Gamertag Challenge channel and we'll make fun of you there. We'll help you there.
I think Proulx should play the very excellent TMNT Metroidvania game. Whichever one that one is. Danger of the Ooze? Yeah, that one. Such a great game.
That's true. I have not.
Oh, God. It's bad. And patron drawing. I think this is wrong, so I'll let someone else read it. Proulx, you could read this. I think it's a lie.
Oh, yes. Well, congratulations to all of our favorite geriatric. What the Fug has won the drawing. Congratulations, sir. I hope you enjoy your bingo time, and you also get, I think, like some sort of like a placard. Congratulations, Fug. Placard.
So Fug didn't win the it belongs in a museum bonus?
Well, technically, he does belong in a museum, yes.
Yes, he does.
That's kind of rude to just say that.
Fug did not fill out his sheet this month, so.
Oh, what?
Uh-huh.
Fug.
Wait, was my mic hot? I didn't mean to say that out loud.
Technical difficulties abound. All right, congratulations to Ben L72 and What the Fud. And leading us to our final segment, bracket. Go ahead, Crucifer.
I guess I'm going first. By 571 has reached 200 completed games. Henky XD 350 completed games. Chris Budd at 20, 500 completed games. Septic Earl 750 completed games. RPG Davy 1200 completed games. What do we do here? 2 dish 2, or is it just dish? Is it just like, I don't know?
Yep.
Just okay. Well, Dishy, my good bud, 1550 completed games, and Magic Monkey 1950 games. Wow, completed games. That's wild. That's well done.
In streaks, Aftos 84 and Sincere Seeker 6 and Dan the Whale all have 50-day achievement win streaks. EL Sock is in the game with a 100-day achievement wins streak. Wazari DK with 250 days. Ace with 300 days. The Dense Rhino, hey, I think that's a new name, with 1,150 days. Fluttery Chicken with 1,400 days. Prince It with 1,500. Elroy OMJ with 2,400. I was waiting, wasn't sure. And Proulx is currently celebrating his 8-year achievement win streak.
Wow. And that's without buying games, people say.
Yeah, it's possible.
You don't need to buy games to get achievements. All you need is $1 and a dream.
$1 and a bunch of East Asia games.
Maybe.
And Brotato.
And Brotato. There you go. In Gamerscore, we have Luke 17,000 with 350,000 Gamerscore. Alex RD with 450,000 Gamerscore. Dark Lord Davis with 450,000 Gamerscore. L Never with 500,000 Gamerscore. Chris Bud 20 with 750,000 Gamerscore. Ahiza with 850,000 Gamerscore. Facial LaFleur with 950,000 Gamerscore. Rocker Dude with 1.2 million Gamerscore. Septic Earl with 1.5 million Gamerscore. Kitty Skies with 1.6 million Gamerscore. Jimbot UK with 2.1 million Gamerscore. And Elroy OMJ with 2.3 million Gamerscore.
I still love that guy. Did a very excellent segment with Waka Bale on Redolika Games 2 episodes ago. Very, very fun. Never believe what his number 1 Redolika game was. Never will. In leaderboards,
Roblox.
Ice Fire. What?
Roblox, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, Roblox, definitely. That's his favorite game of all time. No, that was a different segment. That was a segment with Pete Tart that we will not talk about. Ice Fire is now in the top 20 of the games played leaderboard for Metroidvania. Luke 17,000 is now in the top 100 of TA Difference leaderboard for Management. Scatavase is 3rd in Pennsylvania, 1 leaderboard for Roguelite. 2nd in Pennsylvania Achievements, 1 leaderboard for Management. And 1st in Pennsylvania Achievements, 1 leaderboard for Management. Oh, so he went 2nd and 1st. I think you're going to have to move to Pennsylvania and overtake him in these this management category, Wild West. I think you can do it. Sir,
I've already lived
Polygon.
in Pennsylvania once, so I'm good.
Sorry to hear that. Sir Polygon is position 5 in Georgia TA leaderboard for skiing games and snowboarding. Are those different? I guess so. Winter Muted is now top 1,000 of the achievements completion leaderboard. And our good buddy Westlander, don't call me Wastelander, Joe is now in the top 100 of the Georgia games played. 100 Georgia TA leaderboard for Roguelite, and top 50 of the Georgia games played leaderboard for Motocross. The only motocross game I know is the old XBLA game Motocross Madness, which was a ton of fun. That was one of those with your little avatar guy. That was I don't know if anyone knows that game, but that game was awesome. And I got a special DM from listener DJ Zibbyman, who said, "Hey, I'll have a 77-day streak in 2 days if you want to mention that on the show." I initially scoffed at such a random number, but you know what? I'm going to read it since you bothered to DM me. So that was very cool. And he broke the streak on purpose of 77. So what goes through the mind of people, who knows? But congratulations to anyone who chooses to do a streak or not do a streak. Play however you want, and, these other three might make fun of you, but I certainly won't. So you guys have fun and play how you like. What did I say? And Wild West is turning red again.
From what?
He's asleep. Quantum Break, of course, is the best Remedy game, right? That's what I heard.
No, Quantum Break is the worst. Okay, anyways.
Shh. Quiet.
It's the worst. Sorry.
You need a whole new hard drive just to play that game, I'm pretty sure.
If that's the worst, then you've got a good series going on.
I'm going to guess Proulx just sucked at it. That's usually how he bases something's good or not. His level.
In fairness, I've never played Alan Wake, so maybe my opinion doesn't matter. But
for Alan Wake, just look up the cutscenes because the gameplay is god awful. So just look up like the cutscenes,
kind of like Quantum Break,
and maybe read some
similar.
lore.
Yeah, okay.
Oh god, he's throwing controllers at the screen. Oh, look, video. He's turned off his camera. This is camera.
I'm done.
He's gonna miss out on the ducky races.
I don't need to win
the
ducky races.
He's gonna miss them. Thank you all for joining us this week. Thank you, Proulx. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to play some Marvel on Monday, but that's okay. We actually had fun. We had some good laughs this weekend. Oh. Technical difficulties are over. Wild West is back. His screen is quantum unbroken. That was terrible, Elliot. All right. Class is dismissed. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Game Passible. This is the beginning of March 2024, and here you are at the home for all of those Game Pass goodies and publisher analytics that for your favorite gaming service and all the fun data that I've put together. I'm Fream here with my good friend, Mr. KooshMoose. How are you doing, Koosh?
Not too bad. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. So here it is, right? It's March time. It's been a good run for Game Pass with things leaving because it's been so sparse. We have been in a glut of getting good quality titles into the service and kind of crappy ones leaving. I guess I can't say that. They just don't appeal to me. There's nothing wrong with the game, but what have you been thinking about the most recent couple months here?
Good games, and today was Paw Patrol World, so I just have to giggle a little. But yeah, I mean, we have been waiting. We've been fearing just a bloodbath. Like I feel like it's coming, and like I thought it was going to be this month. I thought it was going to be this. This news we heard was just going to be just horrible.
Yeah,
just a whole bunch of stuff, and I feel like it's coming. Not as long now. It's kind of abated a little bit, but I'm still worried that we're going to see a lot of stuff drop out soon.
And that's totally fair, and it's making all my analytics look really stupid because it's like I have all these things that I feel really confident are leaving, and all of a sudden everybody's changing their course of action now. And I don't know, maybe that's economics, maybe that's just a shift in the gaming culture and how they want to handle, the subscription. Maybe numbers are up. What did they just say? 34 million with the last the podcast. So it's a good, healthy amount of people, and maybe they're seeing the returns, and more of these companies are re-upping. And so we'll just have to kind of keep track of that. Unfortunately, I have not been keeping track of which games are starting when necessarily. I mean, I do have the dates, but I haven't been fully tracking all that stuff. So it's like, oh, Bandai Namco, it used to be 12 months and out, and now they've shifted a little bit. I don't know. We did lose one this month. Anyway, let's just get into it. You guys talked about it on the main show, but I just want to add a little bit extra to the 3 games that are leaving. You guys already talked about Shredders from Eye Illusions. This is their only game in the service. It's been in there for 24 months. So there's nothing really we can glean from that or be worried about in terms of other titles. And then finally, Hard Space Shipbreaker from Focus Home Interactive. It's finally bowing out of the service. Looks like this. I would say the flag was the 18 months for the console release, although it has been 22 months since PC came out. And so I'm, obviously track the 22, but I think 18 is probably the more important time window for that one. And then finally lost Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch from Bandai Namco, and this was at the 18-month mark. Of course, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, is still in the service, and it's currently at 12 months. So could we expect 6 months from now that we lose Ni no Kuni 2? I would think, yeah, that's probably the case. 18 months now has become the new longest duration. So Ni no Kuni, this one that's leaving at 18 months, has set the new longest time, apart from Pac-Man, the Pac-Man Museum, which is currently at 21 months, and we'll talk about it because guess what? May is the 24 month, and we're in uncharted territory for that one. And then there was those 2 titles that I've been mentioning in January. I felt super confident they were leaving: JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle R, and SD Gundam Battle Alliance. They just passed the 12-month mark. So, are we looking at 18 months being the new thing for Bandai? So maybe have a 6-month reprieve on some of these titles. I don't know. I remember you telling me JoJo's isn't worth the time. So
I could use 6 months to get back to that. To be honest, I'm not quite ready to jump back in.
There you go. The extended break.
Please.
Yeah, and in terms of stuff for the end of March, I mentioned Loop Hero last time we talked about. Again, love that game. I do think if we don't lose it at the end of March here, I think it's a pretty good call for April. And then, of course, MLB The Show 23. We already know MLB Show 24 is coming out. Is that next month? That did pop up, right?
Yep.
So this is nearly guaranteed at the end of March here. And the other one I'm nervous about is Let's Build a Zoo from No More Robots. That 18 months is pretty common for those, but I am not done with that game, and it is very time consuming. For the March ones, or the April ones, I mean, I threw Loop Hero on again, right? Because if it survives March, it'll go into April. Other than that, like, things are kind of manageable. The only other one I pointed out last time was Besiege, which has already been in the service, and it lasted 12 months. So end of April, beginning of May would be the 12 months for that one if they just re-upped for another year. So those would be the ones I would flag there, which leads me into May. So let's talk about May here. I got 2 games that I want to call out as public service announcements. Number 1 is Loot River. We've talked about this before. This is being published by Superhot, and again, not developed by Superhot, just published by them. All other Superhot games, the 4 other games that they've published, also / developed, are all gone. They're all out of the service, and so 24 months for Loot River is the pioneer. It is paving the way, and we have no idea when it's going to be out. So, is it the 2-year mark? Likely. I mean, I would key on that one. How far did you get in Loot River? I think I asked this of you before.
Not very far.
Yeah, me neither. It was hard.
Yeah, I dove it and just got distracted. That doesn't seem like a game that people are like clamoring for still. Like I can't imagine that like they're still getting downloads of that. But yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. The other PSA is for Citizen Sleeper from Fellow Traveler. This will hit 24 months in early May. 3 of the 5 games that Fellow Traveler has in the service left at 12 months. The only other one that is of note is Genesis Noir, which is sitting at 36 months right now. Genesis Noir is a quick completion, though, so whenever that pops up, you'll easily be able to do that in the 2 weeks. Citizen Sleeper you can do in the 2 weeks, but there's a lot of reading. I think I talked about this one before too. I loved that game. It was really cool. Citizen Sleeper was. So if you haven't gotten to that one, I highly recommend it. A lot of reading. It's worth your time, though. The characters are really cool and interesting. A lot of diversity, even for cyborgs and robots. So highly worth it. And then we're in our not enough data sections here. So there's a whole slew of titles here that, Xbox went through a kind of after they tapped all the publishers that have been really good with them. They reached out and found a lot of independent people and stuff who are self-publishing, and that wave of self-published studios came on board and are like, oh, awesome, let's get on with that, and see where we go here. A lot of these, though, are some of those. There's some of those ones who were in at the beginning. I'll point out Rebellion here. They have Sniper Elite 5 in the service. It'll hit 24 months in May. They had 2 of their games leave at 12 months. They had 1 of their games leave at 18 and 1 of them at 49. And then they're sitting on Zombie Army 4 is currently at 35 months. Could that leave next month at 36? Maybe, but the thing with Rebellion is they have absurd DLC pricing, and I think that's how they're essentially subsidizing the game in Game Pass. Is if somebody downloads it and they enjoy the time they had, then they'll shell out $7, $10 a DLC, and there's 10 of them. 4. I mean, for Sniper Elite, I think there's 4, but I'm talking about Zombie Army 4. I think there's like 7 or something absurd. It's just bananas. But so I think Sniper Elite 5 is pretty safe even at 24 months. But just throw that as there for your information. Another one that's kind of weird is Frontier Development's publishing of Jurassic World Evolution 2. So Frontier Developments had 2 games leave the service at 18 months. One of those was Jurassic World Evolution 1. Well, Jurassic World Evolution 2 is coming up on 24 months in May. So again, we're in uncharted territory. I have no idea what to expect with this title. I'm looking at this list of everything here, and it's just everything is charting new territory. Ayuden Chronicle Rising from 505 Games. This is coming up on 24 months, and half of 505 games leave before 18 months, and 5 of them have survived beyond. So, this one is, and I know this is tied into development of another Ayuden Chronicles game, and so they're likely going to keep this in the service until whatever the greater game was, because I think this was Kickstarted stuff.
Yeah, Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes.
There you go. Is there any release date on that?
Yep, April 23rd. Next month.
So that does bump this up as a little bit more of a risk then that we might lose Ayuden Chronicle Rising, leading into Ayuden Chronicles. What'd you say? 100 Years War? What was it?
Yeah, it's called 100 Heroes.
100 Heroes. Okay, not the historical 100-year war.
It's make believe, Fream. It's make believe.
Yeah, there could be an instance though where those would overlap by maybe a month or 2, just so that people could play the prequel with the excitement of the new game coming out. But
I just assumed that it was a free game, but I'm looking at it now, and yeah, they're charging for it. So I was kind of this is a surprise to me. I just thought this was like an attention getter or something.
Yeah, this one based on the partner preview program thing or whatever, what do they call that? Microsoft partner event?
Oh, it was the partner showcase.
Partner showcase. This War of Mine final cut from 11-Bit Studios is coming up on the 24-month window here in May. Now, only one of their games of the 5 that they've put in the service has left, and that was Children of Morta at the 30-month mark. But and you know, that still might be the case with this War of Mine final cut. But we did get the news of that other 11-bit game coming out, The Alters.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that game looks sick. I am like totally on board for that, and it's very much a this War of Mine type game. What do you think of that? I
like
talked about it in the main show.
I actually got some flack about it from Mental Knight.
Did you? Shut up.
Imagine that.
What's that clown's problem?
Having something to say. Yeah, so I liked the look of the trailer. I'm interested in the graphic style and the story they're telling. Doesn't look like my type of gameplay. It reminds me of Fallout Shelter. And that game is a game I need to finish, but I'm just dreading going back to just because I'm not loving the loop.
Yeah.
I just think this game's not for me, but I appreciate how good it looks.
I would not compare it. I mean, certainly aesthetically, it gives you those Fallout Shelter vibes. But did you play this War of Mine?
No.
Okay, so if you take the aesthetic of Fallout Shelter with that side view, kind of the base building part of XCOM, but kind of the hallmark of 11-bit games is that they are brutal in terms of the choices you have to make and the sacrifices that you have to have. So like in this War of Mine, I love this game, by the way. This War of Mine is so good. And actually with all the conflict right now in the Ukraine and across Eastern Europe, this is very fitting now because you're in this war-torn area and you've got, I think it's like 3 people, but with this War of Mine, there's the kids now is added to this game. And you have to like you get barely any food, and so like your dudes are hungry and starving. And if you go out and like there was a thing where I broke into some old lady's home and I was just so desperate for food and medicine and stuff that I stole the old guy's medicine. And my guy came home and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. And he went and laid down and shivering in this shelled out house, and he like was on the verge of committing suicide. And so I had to have my other guy go and talk him off the ledge to try and bring him back, and just totally broken his spirit. And then at one point he just left. He's like, I'm just done. And so it's just this one dude and this kid. I'm like, what the hell, man? It is, yeah, the game is wild. And so just seeing The Alters is very much like that, where you see all these different personalities and stuff play through. I'm super pumped for that. I think that game's going to be sweet. All right, back to Game Pass stuff though. I mentioned earlier the Bandai Namco Pac-Man Museum Plus hitting the 24 mark. This is the longest survivor for Bandai. Pac-Man though, I feel like that one's pretty safe. That's pretty popular IP. And so I can see that just sitting around. I can't imagine that their Xbox is charging a lot to keep that game in the service.
They're probably not paying a lot for that.
Yeah. Somerville is on the list, hitting 18 months. This is Jump Ship, and that's their only game in the service. So we don't know when Somerville is going to end up leaving. But I think that one could be an 18-monther here in May. You finished that one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like it. It's a limbo-like, or what I like to call limbo-like. The ending's a little bit confusing. I guess I didn't pay enough attention to the story to kind of understand the last puzzle. So I ended up using a walkthrough for that. But I really enjoyed the game. I didn't have any problems. I know some people did have some like I guess movement or controller type problems, like interface type stuff. Like just it wouldn't I guess click on the thing they wanted to click on. I had no issues. I thought it was a great game.
Did you? Good. I played a couple hours of it, and it did not hook me at the beginning. So I was like, ugh, I'm just not in the right mind space right now. But certainly get to finishing that one. That's a short enough to be able to do in the 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Provided we don't get just absolutely swamped with things leaving, but prioritize that one for sure when you get the announcement. We have two more here. Eastern Exorcist by Billy is the I think that's self-published by them. This one's coming up on 12 months here in May, and the reason I want to call this one out is, again, there's only 2 titles in the service. Eastern Exorcist is the first one. The second one that came out the month after in June is Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, and that's at Vayner. That you like that one, right? The rabbit with the robot arm.
I was really looking forward to it. I was a little upset that we weren't getting it when PlayStation got it, and it ended up being pretty good. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. You can go and listen to my review on the show
Yeah,
if you really
I
want
do
to hear.
remember that. So again, if Eastern Exorcist leaves, I think Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch is on the chopping block that next month. So you can use that as a window, and we'll probably announce that when we get the news. The final one that we don't have enough data on is Planet of Lana by Thunderful Games. They've got 4 games in the service, and not a single one has left. The 2 notable ones that are long lifers are Lonely Mountains Downhill. It's currently at 53 months, and The Gunk at 27 months. So Planet of Lana at 12 months is probably safe. Thunderful makes some quality games, and even if it's not safe, Planet of Lana is a short enough experience that I think 2 weeks is totally fine. Okay, here we go. Let's get into stuff that we actually can break the data down on, and we'll start with things that I think are pretty safe. Farming Simulator 2022. This is now published by Giants Software. Previously, the Farming Simulator games were published by Focus Home Interactive, and now Giant Software publishes their own. And since then, they have come out with Farming Sim 23. However, it only launched on mobile and the Switch. So there's no Xbox or PlayStation port of that game. And so I think Farming Sim, because of that, I think Farming Sim 22 is fine. Now, if we ever get news that Farming Sim 23 is coming into service, then maybe I would be concerned. But I think we're fine on Farming Sim 22. I think we're also fine on the Shadowrun trilogy. This is Paradox Interactive. Now, Paradox has had 23 games in the service, and only 8 of them have ever left. 2 of them we lost at the 12-month range, 3 of them at the 24-month range. But 11 games they have in there right now are beyond 12 months, including the 3 Shadowrun games individually. Those are sitting at 21 months. So, the timing could be in such where the 24-month window for the individual Shadowrun games comes up, and they might leave with the trilogy being left in there, since it's anyway. I think we're fine. I'm not super concerned with that, and I'm hoping if this was interesting to you, you probably would have gotten on it earlier than now. Finally, the other one I think is pretty safe is Far World Pioneers. This is Tiny Build, and it's coming up at 12 months. Now, half of Tiny Build's games leave at 12 months. And the reason I say this one's a little bit more comfortable is that TA's got this thing as an 8 to 10 hour sandbox game. So I think you're just safe in terms of it being an okay 2-weeker, right? If you get the announcement, I think this is one that you can punch out in that window, so you don't need to prioritize it early. A few games here at the 50-50 mark. We've got Railway Empire 2 by Calypso Media coming up in 12 months. Now, Calypso has had 6 games come into service. We lost 2 of them at 18 months and 2 of them at 12 months. I think this one fits more in that 18-month window because it's a simulation game, and those simulation games tend to survive a little bit longer. So I've got this at a 50-50 because of the 12 months, but I do think it's probably more likely, and I'll bump this up to a code orange at the 18-month mark. But if railway sims are your thing, man, might as well get on it now, because I can't imagine it's going to be a short completion. I don't know. Do you have the TA page up?
I do not, but Railway doesn't really interest me unless it's like a toy train.
I hear you. I didn't even like that one short one that was what trains a simulation game with like toys or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully it was an easy completion, but no thanks. We got in here Soccer Story by No More Robots. This is coming up on 18 months. Now, only 2 of their games, so they've had 5 games that have gone up to the 18-month mark. 2 of them survived, 3 of them did not. And then there's a bunch of games. There's 5 games that are under the 18-month mark. And one of note is that Let's Build a Zoo that I mentioned is coming up on 18 months here in March. So this one, this could tip the scale as to where I think Soccer Story is going to go if more games are leaving at 18 months. But there's a lot of titles behind this one, so this one's one to keep an eye on. I really, again, 50-50. I'm not quite sure where I would lean on this one. Just like Return to Monkey Island. Return to Monkey Island is published by Devolver Digital. It's coming up in 18 months, and they've had more than 40 games come through the service. Devolver Digital has 31 of those games left. Most of those at 12 months. We've had 12 of them at 12 months. 6 at 18, 4 at 24, and we had nine randos all over the place. This one, I just don't understand how the licensing worked with Monkey Island and how the publishing tied into that, because this is a franchise that has spanned so many different consoles and iterations and has had life in so many different other ways that I just don't have a good handle on what the arrangement is with this game. So I don't think it's a terribly long completion, but you probably want more than just the 2 weeks. So, maybe this is one to throw on that list. And finally, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, published by Finji, coming up in 12 months. The other Finji title in there is Tunic, which is still going. It's hitting its 24-month mark right now. So, I mean, I think there is some concern that we would lose Tunic at the 24-month here. The 2 games that did leave from Finji, Wilmot's Warehouse and Night in the Woods, they both left at 12 months. So I think Chicory kind of fits in that window. But Tunic survived, and Tunic was a Game of the Year contender. Chicory, Game of the Year contender. And so it could go either way. So again, 50-50. Finally, I got 5 more titles to talk about here. We've got 3 of these here at the 75%, the heating up area, and one of those is Superland 6 Inches Under. This is that sequel to Superland, published by Humble Games, hitting the 12-month mark. 19 of the 24 games that Humble has put into the service have left at 12 months. The 5 games that have survived beyond, and that there's 4 games that are still alive. One of those was Superland 1, the original, and that left at 30 months. So, it might, I'm giving it that slight lifeline because the original stayed in for so long. But at the time, I think there's a lot of development stuff from Superland that let it linger a little longer than it needed to. I think the sequel, did you end up playing the sequel?
I dove the sequel just to see what it was like. I've got to do a lot of cleanup here, Fream. A lot of these are too iffy, and I've already started them and not gotten too far into them.
100%, dude. 100%. And I think Superland, like looking at all these other titles on this list, this might end up being one that I have to buy. But maybe we can prioritize this one, because I did throw into my random to-do list and all my, potential pulls Ghost Lore. This is by AT&T Games. The PC came out 18 months ago. As of May, sorry, not as of now. In May, it will hit its 18-month mark and the 12-month mark for console. And because the timing is just so nice on 18 and 12, this is their only game of the service, but boy, that just seems like too sweet of a reason for it to leave. And so I think this is like a 30 to 40 hour open world hack and slash, I think is what I was looking at. And
Ghost
remember,
Lord is 50 to 60.
50 to 60. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a bit more than you were thinking.
Anyway, I put it on my list of something I wanted to tackle, and so I'm maybe have to take some more YouTube looks and see if it still tickles my fancy. I can assure you, Cricket 22, not on my list to accomplish.
No.
This is published by Nacon. It's coming up on 24 months. Cricket 19 left at 19 months, but that was in May. And May happens to be the 24 month for the PC release of this one. So I'm pretty sure we're losing this in May. But must coincide with some sort of cricket season thing, maybe. I don't know. But I think Cricket 22 is a pretty likely May lever. Again, not something I'm necessarily interested in, but I also don't understand the rules of cricket very well.
Right.
I'm more of a baseball guy. The last two titles here, which I think are extremely high probability, we've got Cassette Beasts coming up on 12 months. This is a Raw Fury game. The console released in May, so that's why I'm flagging this one as a high probability, although the PC version did come out in April. And so there's a chance. The reason it's so high is that 80% of Raw Fury's games leave at 12 months. And so, like I said, this is technically a May console release, even though the PC came out in April. I think the console is what dictates when this thing leaves. So there is a chance this thing leaves in April, but I think that it goes up exponentially in May. And then the final game I want to talk about here is Fuga, Melodies of Steel 2. This is from CyberConnect 2, coming up on 12 months. The reason I think this is so high probability is that Fuga Melodies of Steel 1 left at 12 months, and I think this one will follow suit. I've been playing it, getting back into it. I really liked Fuga, the first Melodies of Steel 1. It was interesting. It's, turn-based combat. There's a bit of a management layer to it. It's a fun, cool title. Guaranteed you have to play 2 playthroughs at least in order to maximize everything. So the grind at the end is a little obnoxious, but it's kind of mindless tactics stuff once you get through the story one time. So your second playthrough is just, if you enjoy the battles, you'll enjoy the second playthrough. If 'cause you don't need to read the story again. It's the same exact story as it was the first time. Fuga Melodies of Steel 2, same. It's the same game pretty much. They've added a few new little wrinkles to it, but by and large, you're doing the exact same things that you did in the first game. The achievements are nearly identical, and I'm digging it. I'm liking it. The story, it's probably a little targeted a little younger than I am. I mean, it does involve dog and cat children, so there is that. But some of them get loaded into a cannon and get vaporized to blow up enemies. So that's kind of fun. Maybe this is something I will, as I put more time into Fuga Melodies of Steel 2, I will touch on at another showcase. But Koosh and I, we gotta go jump into the Dark Zone. So I don't want to take up too much more time here.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that we should touch on? I
I
think.
can't think of anything. I mean, we're gonna get some new news here, hopefully in 7-8 days. But
No, we're gonna get on the 19th.
the 19th. Oh, that's the word. Yeah, I have to look at the calendar, don't I? Yeah. Yep. That'll be the 19th.
You have to look at like whatever the last date is that they announce as the waves. That's pretty much when the new waves come out. And so if it happens to be the last ones that you look at Bolt Gun. They told us Bolt Gun at the end of February was coming out on March 5th because it was a Tuesday. Hey, guess what? We got the newswire on March 5th saying available now, Bolt Gun. Also, for the rest of Wave 1, you can expect these wonderful titles. So it's that Tuesday. So it sucks because everything's all shifted bad because of stupid February being 4 weeks. And I guess we did have leap year, so it shifted a little bit. But yeah, the 19th is going to be the one. We get back on track in April though, because that'll be the 2nd right away there at the beginning of the month, 2nd and 16th. So hey, we got that going for us.
Yeah, much closer.
Yeah. Anyway, boy, I think that's about it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you and I talk all the time, so I don't know what we need to talk about on a podcast. So
Not really, but people need to be listening because I have not been paying enough attention, and I feel like I'm behind the curve. I know we're looking forward a couple months, and I'm really appreciative of that because otherwise I would be in serious trouble.
No, absolutely. Even with like all the things flagging for the next couple of months, that there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of not enough datas, but there's also plenty of things at that 50 and 75% too, where it's like there's just a good as chance as those things leaving, especially the ones coming up on 2 years that I put my guard down thinking, oh well, it survived the one year, I can just deal with it later, like Tunic, that's something I'm gonna have to get in on when I was leaving. We talked about Ravenlock before. That's something I wanted to play. Plague Tale Requiem in April is in there. So there's just so many titles. But are we going to continue to ride this wave of not losing anything, or are we going to get hit with a tsunami of things exiting the program?
Yeah, I think it's the tsunami.
It is just terrifying. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this segment here this time. Hey, thanks again for listening, everybody. Appreciate it. Koosh, anything you want to sign off on?
Nope. I'll see y'all when I see you.
Awesome. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, AH101, and happy March. This is Nerdy Neo coming to you with another Vayner summary for the month of February. It was a pretty quiet month, so not a whole lot to report on. But there were a total of 15 completions, and the Vayner of the Month, which was the last case of Benedict Fox, was tied with Master Blaster 02 with the most completions, with 2 each. Awoo had the most completions in February with 3. The March Vayner of the Month is Astalon Tears of the Earth, which has a 20 to 25 hour completion estimate, has a TA ratio of 1.97, and a 4.18 star rating from the community. Additionally, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, finally got the Vayner tag at the very end of the month, so those of you who completed it in January got credit for it in February as well. For the stats for the month, for TA earned, in first place was Icefire TN with 13,896, in second place was Awoo with 8,130, and in third place was J-Huns with 6,872. For gamerscore earned, in first place was Icefire with 5,265, in second place was Awoo with 3,425, and in third place was J-Huns with 3,250. For achievements earned, in first place was Icefire with 204, J-Huns in second with 121, and in third was Awoo with 92. A little bit of a shameless plug. About 2 weeks ago, Skeptical Mario came on my YouTube channel, as did a couple of other friends of mine, and we did a stream where we ranked our top 5 Metroidvanias, which was a lot of fun. So if that sounds like a conversation you want to listen to, you can go over to my channel and check it out. I'd love to have you watch it and give me your thoughts. Anyways, that does it for February. You guys keep working on those Vayners for March, and we will report back in about a month's time. Talk to you then.